Hello, my name is Steve Stradtman, and I am one of the people that completed Nikolai Tishin's course, Survival Russian, and I thought it was wonderful. And I thought it was wonderful for three different reasons. Number one, it offered a complete package. And that's marvelous because if a person studies correctly, they can have a basic tourist level understanding of the language. And the truth is, in Russia, not everybody speaks English, and not all the signage is bilingual and offers other languages to help a person that may be lost or might need a meal along that line. The second reason why I thought the course was wonderful is it was free. And Nick is talking about doing a more substantial course that he'll have to charge for. But this free course was a marvelous opportunity for us to try before we buy. And thirdly, the reason I thought the course was wonderful was because of our teacher. Number one, I see like Mr. Tishin as a kind person, and he is sympathetic to the students. Also, for those students whose native language is English, we have an advantage in that, Nick has a lot of experience. He's a good depth of experience with English, as well as his native Russian speech. So he's very easy to understand. Now, as a student, I do have suggestions, but my suggestions are for us as students. And I believe there are essential elements to success in studying a new language. Firstly, for myself, I think for most people, we have to take our time with each single lesson. And for me, what that means is when I'm watching a video or listening to a podcast, I frequently have to pause the segment and think about what I've heard. And very frequently, within a single viewing of a video or listening to a podcast, I will pause it and I'll drag the bar back just a little bit so I can listen to a sentence or a word over again. And I will listen to a sentence or a word over again as many times as it takes for me to understand the point that is being made. And also, I think an essential element for students is that we have to take notes. And this is easier than it may sound. There's a good reason for taking notes, and I believe as people, we're more visually oriented than oriented to what we hear. When we see something visually, it gives us certainty. I don't think we have the same level of certainty when we listen to something. And also, when you talk about, the variations of a verb, the verbs sound alike. For example, with gavaru, or gavari, to speak, there is ya gavaru, ti gavarish. He or she, that is an or ana, gavarit. We or we gavarim. We gavariche. And they or ani gavariat. So the point is that these different sounding words, which are variations of the same verb, sound very similar. And if we have a visual representation of it in Cyrillic text, we can have more certainty of what we've heard. About taking notes for a course in Russian, I think a person really has to get familiar with the Russian alphabet. And there are tricks that you can use to get those words spelled correctly. When I would like to write down the correct Russian word or phrase, and I'm not sure how to spell that word in Cyrillic, one of the easiest things that you can do is to use a little application. And it will give you the correct, like verbs to use, such as I go to work. Я иду на работу. It's fairly straightforward. So you can take your notes in correct Russian without being an expert in the language. One thing that can be said that is very nice about Russia, especially compared to other languages, such as, well, as a native English speaker, learning to spell words in English can be difficult. There are other languages that are more difficult, but we don't need to go there. You'll find that Russian language is largely phonetic. That is, like the way the words are spelled are the way they sound. Now, as not a very great expert with Russian language, though I try, I do struggle with, like E sounds. I can never tell whether, like an E sound is going to be represented by the single letter that is made up of a lowercase b and L, or the backwards E's, one of which has a little circle on the top. And even the letter that we're familiar as an E, which is a yes sound, can also have an E sound in a given word. And it's kind of whack-a-mole, like what's going to pick up where. But anyway, those are my comments. Thank you very much, Nick. I hope that, the people who are serious about this proposition about learning Russian language can make peace with the fact that it is possible to do. It does take the investment in time. And very often, when I've had a busy day, I have to choose between, keeping up with the course or watching TV. And I want this sufficiently so that when there is that choice, I do the study. Thank you very much. I hope this helps. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye for now.